Yo, what's good YouTube? I'm back with another reaction video, and we're about to get back to this part 2 of the Larry Bird ISU and DePaul in 1979. Now, I know I also said that I'm going to start doing shoutouts, but the reason why I didn't do shoutouts in this one because I know it's a real long video, and I'm definitely just trying to get it, the video, just get it out and, satisfy y'all, But yeah, definitely look out for that, and also, I had that phone call and everything I had to really take care of. It was a really family important thing. So we're about to get back into this part 2, man. Deeply appreciate all of the support, man. And subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button. Turn on that bell, man. And let's get in this part 2, man. We're back in this part 2. Part 2. Let's get it.
They're already giving the Yankees the American League pennant, but Milwaukee, Boston, and others say, just wait and see. First game, Brewers at New York, and the Phils will play in St. Louis. You'll see Pete Rose in a Philly uniform for the first time. That's a couple of weeks away, the start of our coverage of Major League Baseball. Inside, Aguirre. Bradshaw. Rebound to Gilbert. 22-20. Indiana State with the ball and the lead. 9:30 remaining in this first half. Zone defense, Dick. It was Bradshaw who made the steal and then forced the foul off Nix.
During that timeout, of course, Ray Myers changing his defense out, going to his zone for the first time with the exception of the out-of-bounds situation.
Nix goes out, and Bob Heaton, number 30, who has been the star in a couple of big Indiana State wins this year. It was Heaton who made the little left-hander to beat Arkansas, and he also made a 50-footer against New Mexico State to send that game in overtime in Las Cruces, and Indiana State eventually won.
Larry Bird fouled out of that game before the end of it.
Bradshaw dumping to Garland. Jerry Garland ties it up at 22. He has a dozen.
Boy, he's hitting them, but those are long shots out there, and you have to feel that they've got to get their inside game going some. Well, we got a tie with 9 minutes to go. Still in the zone, 2-3 zone.
Bob Heaton off the mark. Followed in by Alex Gilbert.
And Bird kept it alive. Maley and Gilbert do all their scoring from 3 feet around the basket.
Mitchum. Oh, he hits again. Now, Heaton and Mitchum were teammates at Denver for 2 years. Their coach, Al Harton, is here. Denver de-emphasizing his program. Those were his kids. He said, what a unique position. I've got one of my former players with DePaul, the other with Indiana State. I can't lose.
And Ray Meyer goes back to man-to-man. Heaton missed Bird that time. He had position.
Deflected by Bradshaw. Pass back to Bradshaw. And the foul on Bradshaw. Reed got back to shut him off.
Steve Reed got there in time. Got a position. Bradshaw should have pulled up on that one because he had some people coming down in the lane. Pretty hard with that speed. Look how fast it's going.
Yeah, well, here's Reed right here coming down in position. Draws the charge. He really didn't have the lane. I agree with Al McGuire, though, once again. That should be just a ball out of bounds and not a foul to the man who charged. Maybe it would discourage some of that kind of defense, to fall down defense. Tied at 24, turned over. Garland again, the man on the spot for the defense.
He tried to loop the ball into Gilbert that time. Well, they're getting a good screen.
Foul on 30, Heaton. It was not a shot.
Here's the case where they're setting up.
36 years of age, coach of the year in almost every balloting at the end of this season.
He was the best man at Rick Mount's wedding, and at his wedding, Rick Mount was the best man. They both come from Lebanon.
Don't forget, gentlemen, most valuable player at school receives $1,000 from Gillette Razor Company. We'll announce that later in the game. Aguirre rattles one in to give DePaul the lead, 26-24. Aguirre is averaging 24 points a game.
Time to get the ball to Larry.
There he is, and there it is. Larry Bird ties it at 26. He has 14.
You notice how when he came down, he headed right in for the offensive rebound. Thought it was off a little bit.
He's really a terrific young guy.
Watkins, quick move and scores. Curtis Watkins playing on that sore knee gives DePaul the 2-point lead.
These are two fine college basketball teams we're looking at right now. They play it all the game very well.
Hey. Great assist by Reed, and it's tied at 28.
Just a touch pass by Bird. Reed to Bird, Gilbert.
And those two fellows will do all their scoring again within 3 feet of the basket. Gilbert and Miley.
Aguirre, Mitchum, and Bradshaw. Mitchum over Bird. He has had 3 in a row.
He's made me a believer. I knocked his outside shooting the first game. I apologize to the whole United States.
It's not that big a deal.
Well, he's from Albuquerque, New Mexico, too.
Falling on Bird. Turnover to DePaul.
Bird walking. Ray Meyer wants a timeout. I don't know why. It looks like he's in pretty good shape.
No, he wanted a technical foul.
Oh, technical. What happened here? Bird threw the ball down. But it was just a pass to the referee. Here he goes. Pump fake. Steps in. Now watch him go for the rebound. Oh, we missed him a little bit there. But there he is, right under the basket.
That's a good point, Tony. He is a complete player. He's not just a shooter. Garland misses on his knifing attempt through that defense. And here comes Indiana State trailing by 2.
He's the weak side guard. He cuts off the high pivot and he was free.
That's 2.
You're right. Larry Bird, All-American.
Well, if you're Ray Meyer sitting over there, Al, you got to start saying to yourself, hey, we're going to have to deny him the pass. Move him out a little further because he's getting out there and touching it from 18 feet.
Well, the game's going good. I don't think anyone's going to make any major changes right now. It's 30-30, and there's 5 minutes and 30 seconds left. Yep. Too much hands on the cut from the weak side by Gary Garland going to the strong side of the court. Whatever side the ball's on is called the strong side of the court. You run a string from one basket to the other.
Interesting point, and it reflects what kind of game this is, gentlemen. The game has been tied 11 times already. It's tied now at 30.
There's Larry Bird again, stepping out, helping out on defense.
Mark looking for that post position.
Nice move by Mitchum, but Bird was there.
Good defense, man-to-man by Indiana State.
Aguirre. 32-30 DePaul.
He was on my team in 2 high school games this year that played in New England in May. He really made me a good coach.
Back to the zone again. They're trying to figure out some way to slow Bird down.
Nix deflected out of bounds by Aguirre. And again, the quickness of the DePaul defense. Timeout. Beautiful special events center on the campus of the University of Utah. And we've got a beautiful game. Inside, Staley. Bird tips it in. He's everywhere.
You can't leave him. He's getting too open in this ball game. You better just glue yourself to it.
18 for Bird already, and the game is tied for the 12th time. Bradshaw follows it in.
Good rebound.
Clyde Bradshaw inside to give DePaul a 34-32 lead.
DePaul sitting in the 2-3 zone.
Reed's first shot is there. No, they give him room, and Steve Reed connects.
He can fill it up. He's sacrificed himself for the team.
You know what the good thing about all the Indiana State University players is that they don't try to do more than they're capable of.
Aguirre to Watkins. Fine interior passing. And Bird looking for the foul.
That's a good no call. He jumped in a little late.
36-34. DePaul with 3.5 minutes left first half.
Look at that zone. It's really shaded over on Bird's side now.
Nix. Aguirre. Stolen. And then taken away as Watkins held his ground.
Hot potato.
Ray Meyer checks the clock. 3:18 left first half.
Boy, Aguirre sets a big screen up there in that foul line. Guys come off of him like a tank.
Garland has it knocked away. Watkins picks up the loose ball. He is lightning.
Important to get it to Larry Bird now. This time down the court. Watch how his zone is shifting over. See, they're even saying, he's on your side. Get over there.
4-point DePaul lead. 2:45 left.
They'll look for Bird this time.
That's not too far out for him. It's unbelievable, his range.
Reed. Steve Reed.
Big shot.
He's the quarterback of the team. One of the only 4 players out there directly out of high school. 2 at junior college and 2 at transfer. Indiana State.
Pass and a holding foul against Staley, 44 of Indiana State. Staley's second foul, 1-1 in effect for DePaul.
Here we see Watkins on the outside. Ball kind of got away from everybody. Look at him hang time in the air. Laid it up beautiful.
Notice how he favors his left leg, Billy, coming down.
Right.
Lands completely on his right.
He did that on his jumper also.
Yeah, an injury stays in your head longer than it stays in your body. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it definitely does. He was dragging that leg yesterday.
His first free throw, and he misses the front end of 1-1. Indiana State a chance to tie. Bird.
Oh, what a touch.
Oh, danced it on the rim and dropped it in.
Wow, that was yo. This is a good game.
We're even at 38. Bird has 20 points.
He anticipated the block and just put it up a little bit higher. What a touch.
That ball landed so soft, like a butterfly landing on sore feet.
Good defense by Nick.
14 times this game has been tied. Each team has pulled ahead by only 4, their biggest margin.
Either one of these clubs would be a great representative in the final. Here's that zone. It's going with a little more. Now it's a 2-1-2.
Nix inside. Nice pass, and 40. Brad Miley has his first bucket.
Neither team can figure out the secret to stop the other.
Watkins got away with
Oh,
a
he
travel and
walked.
scores.
He walked.
A terrific shot off balance there.
40-40.
We got ourselves a barn burner.
Nix. Rebound. Mitchum foul on 42 Gilbert. The 1979 NCAA basketball championship program. It's a memento you'll treasure. Exclusive information on the Final Four, tournament records, plus plenty of photos, features, much more contained in this collector's issue. Send a check or money order for $4 to NCAA program, box 1979, Lexington, Kentucky, 40594. Preceding message furnished by the NCAA.
I think that foul was on Watkins. Of course, Larry Bird gets that tough offensive rebounding position. Tough to keep him out of there.
And Bird gives Indiana State the lead, 41-40. Looking for his 22nd point of this half.
He called it off. He knew it as soon as he released it.
Well, with a minute 10, Watkins gives Stevens the lead. No whistle. 42-41. Final minute, first half. A great first half as Reed gives Indiana State the lead. 3 in a row from outside 20 for Reed. And
As I told you earlier, he's an excellent shooter. He's the glue that keeps this team together. He sacrifices himself offensively.
Everybody coming off that high screen by Aguirre, but nobody getting it inside yet.
Garland with 28. Garland open. Bird rebounds. Indiana State has the lead. Can add 2 more to its total.
They'll play for one shot, obviously.
And they're going for one.
That is the man to shoot it. Well, back to Bird. Great pass. Oh, what a play.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Miley. DePaul has to hurry.
You got to get it up, Garland. Get it up.
And that's the end of the first half. At the intermission, Larry Bird and the Indiana State Sycamores. Bird leading the way with 23 points. Lead DePaul University. A great show by a great All-American and a marvelous 20 minutes of basketball. Indiana State leaves the court leading DePaul by 3.
With a lot of hoopla and publicity, the NCAA crowns their Division I basketball champion, but they award a lot of championships in other sports also. Let's take a moment now to salute our other NCAA champions. Football, Division I AA, Florida A&M. Division II, Eastern Illinois, Baldwin Wallace champions, Division III. In soccer, Divisions I, II, and III, they are USF, Seattle Pacific, and Lock Haven State, respectively. Indoor track champions, Villanova. In water polo, Stanford. Colorado, the champions, Division I skiing. In cross country, our 3 divisional champs, Texas, El Paso, Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, and North Central. In wrestling, Division I, Iowa State wound up with the championship. Cal State Bakersfield took it for Division II, Trenton State for Division III. In swimming, Cal State Northridge and Johns Hopkins walk away with honors, while in basketball, Division II champions North Alabama and Division III people from North Park. We salute all of those champions. And speaking of champions, last night in Charlotte, North Carolina, there was a McDonald's High School All-America Classic played among a lot of blue chippers coming out of high school. It was an assemblage of some great talent. For highlights of that ball game, we get this report now from Larry Sacknoff.
Last night in Charlotte, the largest crowd to ever watch a prep game in North Carolina, 11,666, turned out to watch the College Stars of tomorrow in the McDonald's All-American game. Some of the more highly publicized players were Dominic Wilkins, watching Magic Irvin Johnson there, 7'3" Ralph Sampson of Harrisonburg, Virginia, John Paxson of Kettering, Ohio, and Antoine Carr of Wichita, Kansas. Let's take a look at some of these players. East Squad won it 106-105 in overtime. They've all got that outside shot. That's Horace Owens out of Philadelphia swishing it through. Dirk Minifield out of Lexington, Kentucky has decided to stay in that state, play his college ball at Kentucky. He's got that outside shot, doesn't he? Watch John Paxson. He's the brother of Dayton star Jim Paxson. He's going to go to Notre Dame, play for Digger Phelps. Isaiah Thomas likes to go to the hoop. The heck with that outside shot. John Paxson to Ricky Ross to Tim Andre. All these guys know how to pass the ball around. Andre, by the way, is 6'11". He's also going to go to Notre Dame and play for Digger. Ralph Sampson, 7'3", highly recruited, the most highly recruited athlete in the country right now. He's number 33. He's devastating. He blocked 10 shots last night, had 11 rebounds, and I tell you, he can do it all underneath that hoop. He can even start the fast break for you. Watch this. He's going to get that outlet pass out to Dominic Wilkins, who's going to go in for that hoop, and nobody's going to stop him right there. Now, all of these guys like to slam dunk, and don't forget, they're only in high school. They're not your college stars yet or your pros. Look at that. They can go to that hoop and just slam it right through. Wilkins, Carr, Darren Day, they can all do it, and they do it pretty well, don't they? Now, Darren Day of the West Squad scored 22 points, and because of that, he was voted the most valuable player of that game, and for that, he received the John Wooden Award. As you are watching the Stars of Tomorrow, you'll be seeing him on college basketball and eventually in the pros. I'm Larry Sacknoff for NBC Sports.
It's 45-42 at the half. Indiana State out in front of DePaul. This one close as expected. Two teams going for the right to meet Michigan State on Monday night. Larry Bird has 23 first-half points, but DePaul countering it very well with good balance. For a look at the first half, let's go cross-court. Dick Enberg, Al McGuire.
Now we have the first unfinished business, Brian. Want to say to Big House Games down there at Winston-Salem, he has more career victories than does Ray Meyer, although the statistics are broken down sometimes in divisions. We didn't mean to slight a great coach, had a great pupil in Earl Monroe. Another unfinished business, we understand the Knicks will be here on Monday night if Indiana State wins.
The Reverend had work to do tomorrow. It's Sunday, and so they're going to come out if Indiana State wins for the finals.
All right, so much for that. We saw an exciting offensive first half, very few mistakes, great shooting, 3-point Indiana State lead, and Larry Bird continues to just be beyond description.
He's just so good. He makes everyone around him good. That's how you can tell a good ball player. He's unselfish. He has the whole game. If there's any weakness, it's maybe a little bit slow of foot, but I doubt he even has that.
You know, there are 5 men in basketball history who have scored more points than Larry Bird, and all of them have their name or some memento in the Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts. I think you're going to enjoy a flashback now of some of the great names enshrined.
The Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts traces the history of the sport invented by Dr. James Naismith and includes memorabilia and film of the game's greatest players.
Naismith was faced with the fact that 18 fellows didn't particularly like physical training, exercise by the numbers. They wanted to play a competitive game. There was no indoor competitive game at the time, so he decided he needed a couple of boxes about 18 inches square, and he asked the janitor to get a couple of those. The janitor didn't have them, but he had a couple of peach baskets. And 144 nations later, and about 80 years, you have basketball. As the game developed, it would be impossible to imagine how they did shoot. Probably they shot one hand. But we do know the coaches were convinced the best shot of all was a two-handed shot. Of course, Paul Arizin was considered one of the first great jump shooters. Joe Folks, out of Kentucky, was one of the most amazing scorers and the first man to score over 60 points in a game, unheard of in 1947. Now, there have been other great jump shooters, and present-day shooters are among the most deadly shooters that you would find. Probably one of the great changes in the game of basketball is the fact that all of today's players are such great shooters.
7 men will be inducted into the Hall of Fame on April 30th, among them 5 coaches and a referee.
The only player inducted this year will be Will Chamberlain, the historical NBA All-Star. Think of all of his records. Over 31,000 points scored, over 30 points a game average, played over 1,000 games and over 47,000 minutes and never fouled out of one game, over 23,000 rebounds, and 55 in one game. And the 55 he got in one game was against his great rival, Bill Russell, also a Hall of Famer. Will Chamberlain certainly must be considered the greatest offensive player in the history of the game of basketball.
Wilt's picture will join the others in the honor court. It's a gallery of greats in a game that's come a long way from what Dr. Naismith had in mind.
We've got a good second ball game going, rather. Indiana State out in front of DePaul, 45-42. Let's go back to Dick and the coach.
Well, that's an understatement, Brian. A great first half of shooting. And, Coach, you look at those statistics. What was your first comment?
Oh, my God. To shoot 75%, Indiana State hit 21-28. DePaul should be 12 points ahead with their shooting. They're shooting 60%, 21-35. Nobody's in foul trouble. That's what's going to make it a terrific game. The most anyone has is 2. I don't think either coach is going to change their style.
No, you won't do something to stop Bird with 23 points?
No, I think they're happy the way the game's going. The game was really a tie. It went up 3 points at the very end of the ball game. It looks to me like a white knuckler.
Well, that's the kind of game that this tournament is famous for. It was not the case in the first game. The only white knuckles were those of the 10 players, coaches, and fans. It was all Michigan State. They've earned a berth in the finals.
The first game was certainly not a white knuckler. The Michigan State Spartans came into this one looking to beat Pennsylvania, but nobody ever dreamed they'd do what they did to Penn. They rattled off 9 unanswered points in the first half at one stretch, 19 at another stretch. And as for the Penn Quakers, well, not a lot was going right. They couldn't get the ball down in the hole. When they did come up with it, they managed to throw it away. And for Bob Weinauer on the sidelines, it was a long day for him and his Penn Quakers. The only anxious moment the Spartans had came when an injury occurred to Terry Donnelly. The Spartans playing their usual running game. Watch this one. Magic Johnson comes across, feeds off to Donnelly, but when he goes up, he loosed his legs off from under him, and the agony in his face tells the complete story. He sat out the rest of the half, but came back in the second half to play. By that time, Michigan State had it well salted away thanks to Gregory Kelser. He tossed in 28 points. Michigan State was up 50-17 at the half. The only reason Penn made it respectable was because they tossed in 50 second-half points, Bobby Willis getting 2 of them right there. But the game was long since out of question. Irvin Johnson tossing in 2 of his 29 from the corner. Between them, Kelser and Johnson, 57 points. The final, Michigan State 101, Penn 67. The Spartans move on into Monday night's final. And that's the end of our Pro Cats basketball report. We'll be back right after this message.
All right, y'all. Gonna do that part 3. I gotta stop it a little short right here. We're gonna definitely finish it out by part 3, but I actually gotta get my son ready for bed. To be honest, man, you know I'm a real person, so I keep it real. So it's starting to get a little late, and I'm definitely gonna come back and finish it. But yeah, man, we definitely getting this. I'm definitely loving this. I can't wait till we get to actual in the NBA too, man. That's gonna be real good. But anyway, man, subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button, turn on that bell, man. I'm uploading every single day, and definitely look out for that part 3. It's definitely coming. It might be part 3 and 4, but yeah, you know, I'm keeping it honest with y'all, man. Not sugarcoating or hiding anything. I just gotta get my son ready. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all understand that, because a lot of y'all got kids too. But yeah, man. Yeah. So look out for that part. That part 3 is definitely coming. Part 3 is definitely coming. But yeah, I'm out for now. Love y'all. Peace.